the World Trade Organization members will assess on Wednesday a proposal to waive patent rights on COVID-19 vaccines. As sponsors of the waiver say the temporary suspension would allow more factories worldwide to produce jabs without breaking rules under the WTO agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, known as TRIPS. And the WTO agreement on patent protections plays a central role in facilitating trade in knowledge and creativity and resolving trade disputes over intellectual property. It frames the IP system in terms of innovation, technology transfer and public welfare. The proposal to ease up on patent projections for vaccines was submitted by South Africa and India in October and is backed by 60 countries. 10 meetings in 7 months have failed to produce a breakthrough. Angela Capola has more details.
They're hoping that by waiving patent rights, vaccines will become more readily available around the world. South Africa is one of those countries, but not everyone here agrees.
Demand is outstripping supply, not because of IP, but because of our inability to scale up production for global demands. So if IP access is a barrier, it may be a barrier in the future, but at this moment in time, these vaccines, in my opinion, don't cost a lot of money. They're between $10 and $35 US. And some of the issues are around a lot of countries prepaid for these vaccines. They got into deals with manufacturers long before the vaccines were found to be efficacious. So, and the companies are struggling to meet this commitment.
There are other concerns that experts have. Should intellectual property rights be waived?
Even if we do away with IP, how do we ensure that there is good quality vaccines made at scale? It makes me worried when we see the Baltimore plant who was making both J&J and AstraZeneca have contamination. So if we do away with IP, we also have to make sure that we don't throw quality down the drain as well.
Gray also wonders why calls aren't being made for the waiving of patent rights on COVID-19 diagnostic tests.
No one's calling for IP to be given up for diagnostics. And there's much more money in diagnostics because you do diagnostics over and over again. And yet no one is, it seems also strange to me that we focus on a drug or a vaccine, but we don't even address the issue of diagnosis.
Whatever decision is taken by the WHO, many people in poorer countries still don't have access to tests or vaccines, and it's a moot point, analysts say, whether it has to do with waiving the patent rights or the lack of manufacturing capacity.
What's needed, experts say, is public investment in manufacturing capacity so that those vaccines can be produced. And it's got to happen as soon as practical. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Johannesburg, South Africa.